And many people have already started on their gardens, but you might want to add a few more things to help keep the bugs away.
News 3's Michelle Medeiros got a few tips from Plantscape in Heron that could help you get more from your garden.
We're learning a little bit more about a concept called companion planting. I'm here with Margie Rehagen from Plantscape. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Good. So many of us head out to the gardens in the summer ready to pick the fruits of our labor, only found out the bugs have already gotten to them. But you're saying there's a really natural way to kind of repel some of those bugs.
That's right. There's a concept and a practice that's been around for a long time called companion planting, and a lot of it involves herbs or other plants that like to be planted together. Either they're beneficial because of chemical exchange or their root system, or perhaps it's just that they like to shade another plant, for instance. But there's plants that like to be planted together, and also plants that don't like to be planted together.
And a lot of those are herbs, maybe even some flowers.
That's right.
Let's go into a couple of the ones that are good partners together. What about tomatoes?
Tomatoes like to be planted with basil, for instance, and of course that's something that you would like to eat together as well.
Yeah.
And so you can, perhaps if you're planting a row of tomatoes, then you plant a row of basil. Or if you're planting just individual plants, then you plant basil around them, just so that they're in kind of close proximity to each other.
And what about some fruits, maybe strawberries?
Strawberries like to be planted with chives, onions, garlic. Onions and garlic are a really good companion plant for a lot of fruit trees, for a lot of fruits. So those are really good things to plant together. Marigolds is another plant that is often planted as a companion plant, and you see it a lot around gardens. And they're just good plants to plant together for insect repellents.
Any of you had a lot of success with this on your own?
Yes, I do. Like last year, I planted basil all around all of my raised beds, and I think it really helps a lot.
Really great. And tell us a little bit, how do you have to plant those? Do you have to plant them row by row? Should you surround the plants? How does that work?
It just depends on how you have your garden arranged. If you're doing rows, some people do rows, then you can do rows or partial rows or if you're just doing individual plants, just so they're right next to each other.
Well, thank you so much, Margie. And if you'd like to check out the full list, you can find that on our website of what companion plants to plant together. In Heron, Michelle Medeiros, News 3.
Well, the bugs are starting to come out in full force, but there could be a less chemical way to keep them away.
News 3's Michelle Medeiros got a few tips on natural remedies from Plantscape in Heron.
As it starts to warm up outside, it's always a battle against the bugs. But there's a few natural insect repellents out there that we're going to learn a little bit about this morning. I'm here with Margie Rehagen of Plantscape here in Heron. Good morning.
Good morning.
So kind of tell us that there are a few things on the market that are good for getting rid of those bugs that always bug us in the summer.
That's right. There's some natural, most of them are herbs, but natural plants that are good for insect repellents. You can have them in pots on your deck. I usually will plant pots of herbs. There's actually plants called mosquito plants. A lot of these are to repel mosquitoes and flies and things like that. But there's also some that like to be planted, around other plants that will help. But mint, for instance, is an excellent plant for repelling things like mosquitoes and flies. Lavender, that's been kind of traditional. That you think of how you put them in sachets and things like that. But that's a really good plant to have. This is the mosquito plant down here, and it's actually a scented geranium, but the fragrance is...
I can smell it from
here. Can you smell it? And lemongrass, that's very popular right now, the citronella type of flavor, that's also good. It's an annual grass, so you do have to plant it every year or keep it in pots. Basil is an excellent plant to repel flies, mosquitoes, and I always have pots of these on my deck, and I think it is beneficial.
What about ants? I mean, we're always sitting outside having picnics, things like that. What should we put around our patios?
Yeah, mint, garlic, and pennyroyal. Those are really good herbs, and of course garlic. Garlic and onions are always good repellents for things, but mint in particular, and actually mint is a really good repellent for mice. That's not insect, but it's a pest type of thing. So if you have pest problems, a lot of times you use mint oil, and you can use the plants themselves. Sometimes you can buy oils. We've got actually sprays that are made from a lot of the like rosemary oil and garlic oil and things like that are really good to spray on plants.
Well, thanks so much, Margie. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
And again, you can even use these to cook with or eat after you're finished. So really great natural repellent. Reporting in Heron, Michelle Medeiros, News 3.